Hey everyone, happy Wellness Wednesday, and I hope you're all ready to do a diet and detox, which is the preamble to this wonderful new book, Radical Longevity. If you have not picked up your copy, go to radicallongevitybook.com. You're eligible for 3 free downloads, and then we're also giving away special gifts from some of our affiliates. We're giving away a silver cloth and a beautiful bathing oil, which is very high in natural retinol. So keep looking out for that. You just have to keep the receipt when you buy the book on Amazon or Barnes & Noble or any of your favorite booksellers. So go to radicallongevitybook.com to grab all the freebies in honor of my 37th book. We're hoping that you're all doing exceedingly well today, and I want to talk about the real tenets of a detox and diet protocol, which of course is the preamble to what you'll be reading about in this book, which gives you 40 new recipes and a whole new diet plan. So, element number 1 of a diet and detox is wholesome, unprocessed foods. Wholesome, unprocessed foods. We want foods that are not in cans, that are not frozen as much as possible, but frozen fruits are okay once in a while. We want foods that are wholesome without any fungicides, herbicides, pesticides, or GMO enhanced. We want foods that are coming from grass-fed beef, chicken, turkey, cage-free eggs. We want natural beans that you're going to make yourself, and you're going to soak them overnight so that they are the healthiest that you can get in the highest amount of soluble fiber. We want hemp food. We want a little bit of tofu, tempeh, as many of the different plant proteins as you can find, including a little bit of the protein powders that you get from pea and rice that are very healthy and low heavy metals. So protein is very important in a wholesome, unprocessed diet and detox diet. Second to protein is going to be your veggies. I love all kinds of veggies. I love them steamed, I love them stewed, I love them braised, I love them simmered, I love veggies in soups, and I love veggies in your morning smoothie. So I love the veggies. Fruits. 2 fruits a day keeps old age away. 2 fruits a day keeps old age away. The best fruits are half a cup of berries, and I love a little bit of fresh apple, a little bit of pear, but sometimes they're GMO based, so you have to be very careful, and they're loaded with fructose. So a small apple and a small pear, maybe a half a cup of pineapple when it's in season, as well as a half a cup of mango. So fruits are wonderful, just keep them at a low level, because as we get older, we lose the ability to metabolize carbohydrates. It's just a fact of life. Now, when it comes to fats, which is the second part of your healing diet, your diet and detox healing diet, I love healing oils. How many of you love healing oils? Raise your hands if you love a healing oil. Best healing oil out there is hemp seed oil because it heals the mitochondria. So hemp seed oil is the oil to use to heal the structure of the mitochondria as well as the cellular membrane. 1 to 2 tablespoons a day is very good for the skin. The second basic oil is flaxseed oil, good to ward off breast cancer, very good for the joints, the heart, the skin, the nails, the hair. The third best oil is going to be olive oil because olive oil is so high in polyphenols, which feed the beneficial bacteria. So when I use olive oil, I use it as a salad dressing or to take a little bit of it in a marinade. Now, the next best oil is coconut oil. It's not an essential fatty acid-based oil, but it's very good for the thyroid. A little bit of that will enhance your metabolism. So in essence, the best oils for you to be taking would be hemp seed oil for the good omega-6s, 6 for the skin and for your sex drive, so I don't forget to mention that, and also good to ward off radiation. I love flaxseed oil as well to be used as a salad dressing. Thirdly is olive oil, and then we're going to be using a little bit of MCT or coconut oil as well. We don't like to cook with oils, we like to simply drizzle them on our foods. The third basis of the diet and detox is a high fiber cocktail. Why do you think you need fiber? You need fiber to escort the toxins out of your system. That's why one of my dear guests on a previous podcast at AnnLouise.com suggested that people take half a cup of beans per day. It's because of the soluble fiber, but I think you can get soluble fiber in seeds like hemp seeds and seeds like flax seeds, as well as a little bit of psyllium. Psyllium actually strips the intestinal tract of all the toxins, and out they go into the bowel. So 1 teaspoon of psyllium twice a day is a high fiber cocktail to keep the toxins away. So we've talked about unprocessed foods. I've talked about healing oils, a high-fiber cocktail. Number 4 is liver-supporting supplements. On a daily basis, you have to support your liver. Supporting the liver and detoxing the liver is a daily occurrence these days. It's not just a seasonal occurrence, a seasonal event. What do I like for the liver? Anything with artichoke is wonderful, a little bit perhaps of Oregon grapefruit, which is a high source of berberine. And the third thing I like is dandelion root, a little dandelion root tea, and even mugwort tea to keep the parasites at bay. So love your liver. The best way to love your liver is with lemon and water every single morning. Take the half of the juice of the lemon, take a lemon, take half of a lemon, I've been up 24/7 promoting the book, so if I'm not making sense, just blame it on my Radical Longevity promotion. You take a little bit of lemon juice and water first thing in the morning and hot water so that you can soothe and satisfy your system, and that will detox and soothe the palate as well as detox the liver as well as the kidneys. The next element is the importance of filtered water. Use your filtered water as cran water. Cran water is important because it opens up 2 of the detox pathways of the liver. It's also important because it's a very high source of polyphenols, which is very deficient in the American diet. Last but not least is going to be moderate exercise. I'd like you to jump up and down on the trampoline as much as you can to get the lymphatic moving. It takes 10 to 20 minutes to get the lymphatics completely moving so that you can detoxify as rapidly and as efficiently as possible. Now, many of you ask questions about diet. Matt, are there any questions that I can answer online right now?
I don't see any at the moment.
Question that just came through the other day has to do with pots and pans. Now, I've reversed my stance on pots and pans. I do not like anything that is really high aluminum or high copper because all that can leach into your foods. The best way to cook is what I learned from Dr. Parcells, whom I talk about and honor and elevate in this book, Radical Longevity. The best pots and pans are a high-gauge stainless steel where the food cooks in a vacuum, where it doesn't get higher than 180 degrees, which ruins all the enzymes. The best brand that I like is going to be Salad Master. If Tracy on the other end in Texas, hello dear Tracy, you're a guardian angel. If you could please post a link to Salad Master, that'd be so helpful. That's what I like the best because food doesn't need additional fats, additional water to cook. It'll cook in its own juice and it'll preserve all the living force or the life force of foods, which is what I learned from Dr. Parcells. The next question I'm often asked is about diabetes. What would I do if I had type 2 diabetes? Well, I come from a type 2 diabetic family. My father was a diabetic, my uncles were diabetics, my maternal grandmother was a diabetic, and my paternal grandmother was a diabetic. So I watch my sugar number 1, and I take berberine 500 milligrams 3 times a day. I also take elevated zinc, and I take more chromium. So zinc, chromium, and berberine keep diabetes away. If I had diabetes 1, I'd do a parasite cleanse and do an antiviral procedure. The best thing for your sinuses, people are asking about the issue with their sinuses, is that standard physician formula, which is a nasal wash. I do not have a code for that, but you can find it easily online. I also like colloidal silver, which you can spray up the nose, or even a little bit of grapefruit seed extract. If you're wanting a natural antibiotic, because that was another question that I often get, grapefruit seed extract is probably the best thing on the market. Now, what do I take on a daily basis? Well, first of all, I try to drink a lot of water to your health. I take a high protein breakfast with more carbohydrates at breakfast than lunch and dinner. And if I'm running out of the house, I do a bar. The bars that I use are the best that I found on the market that have a little monk fruit. They're called Boo Fit, B-H-U Fit, F-I-T. I take the keto Boo Fit, which is a vegan Boo Fit type of a bar, which is very excellent to get my blood sugar raised and keeps me going for at least 4 hours. I started today at 4 in the morning. I took 2 of the Boo Fit, and I'm still going strong, God willing. But I'll go even stronger if you buy Radical Longevity, because that actually keeps us going, my friends. I take the Boo Fit bar when I'm on the plane or I'm running in the car, as I have with all the promotion we'll be doing for the next month because the book is coming out May 11th. And I also have yesterday's or last night's dinner. In this case, it was kind of like a makeshift pizza that we had. We had a makeshift pizza with a little bit of turkey bacon, real turkey, lots of mushrooms, as well as artichoke hearts. And what I just learned today is something very, very interesting, because you know how important vitamin D is because it's a hormone. Well, we're now going to start looking for sun-dried mushrooms. If any of you can locate sun-dried mushrooms are the highest food in the planet in vitamin D. You know, you get your vitamin D from the sun, you get it from pills, but this is where you get it from food, sun-dried mushrooms. So if somebody can find that for me, I'd really appreciate the link. Now, the other things that people are always asking about is hair loss. I think it's important to get your thyroid checked with your hair, and it's important to take 3 particular B vitamins. Vitamin choline, which is a B-type vitamin, choline 500 milligrams 3 times a day, inositol 3 times a day, 500 milligrams, and methionine, which is an amino acid 3 times a day. I also have found when people are not absorbing protein properly that if they take amino acids by themselves, it's a very helpful way to get the hair regrowing. You know, I had an issue many years ago where I fell and had a near-fatal concussion that I'm not proud of relating to you, but I did have it in 2007 through no fault of my own, which is another story and another book in the making. But I was given a narcotic instead of a pain pill for an eye injury, promptly got up in the middle of the night, fell and hit my head, had 10 stitches, knocked 3 teeth out, and had a real traumatic brain injury. I also had to go on a medication, which I was loath to discuss as well with you online, but I've decided I'm really going to let all that out at this point because we all go through challenges and we all can overcome challenges. I took the medication for 3 years because it was the only thing that kept my PTSD at bay. When I got off of it, half of my hair fell out. So how did I restore my hair, which is now as full as it ever was? With amino acids. The best amino acid blend that I have found, bar none, is one called Perfect Amino with all the basic essential amino acids. I take 5 in the morning and 5 at night. Not only is my hair stronger, but my muscles are stronger. I have better lean muscle mass and better endurance. The other questions that I'm getting have to do with what to do about teeth. Teeth are the repository of a lot of hidden dental infections, which you'll find out when you get one of your downloads from Radical Longevity. So you've got to find a biological dentist. Make sure that you do not have any gum infections, that you do not have any infected wisdom teeth that may have been still left in your system, or that you have any cavitations which are kind of infected holes in the jaw because of improper ways of extracting the teeth. I've had all the above, so I'm very aware of that. If you still have mercury fillings, go to a mercury-free dentist and make sure he takes your fillings out in particular quadrants. On a daily basis, the other thing that I take 3 other elements that I want to conclude with. The first is Vitality C. I personally take 16,000 mgs, 16 grams of vitamin C every day of Vitality C. 1 scoop is 4 grams, and so I put it all in one little cocktail, and voila, I'm done for the day. So I find that the more vitamin C that you can accommodate, that you can assimilate, that you can digest in your system without running to the bathroom, it means the more that you need vitamin C because you may be toxic in heavy metals, which we discuss in length in this book. The other thing that I take on a daily basis is Bile Builder because it helps me run to the bathroom. I clean out very successfully, and that's exceedingly important if you do not methylate properly, as I do not. And I also find that it's exceedingly important to take magnesium. If you've never tried our Mag Key, that is a real bonus for you. Mag Key at 5 milligrams per pound of body weight. Now, if there are no more questions, I'm going to let you go because I'm going to be doing another podcast very shortly. I want you to check out everything I've said at annlouise.com, where you can buy the book, look at our podcast, look at our blogs. Send me a lot of love because I'm sending you a lot of love back. Shalom, may you be blessed.